And we are live. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. To the Dreamer. All those that know who I am. Well, the Dreamer. And I am joined today on this beautiful, beautiful, getting very hot Thursday with Mr. David Oman. Let's just, I'm going to let history speak for itself, folks. Let's just get right into it. Mr. Oman, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me on your show today. I much appreciate it.
I am thank you, sir. I I am just I'm absolutely spellbound, because when the first time that I ever heard or knew about the stories that we will be told today was about the same time that I realized that with my father dying when I was 13, I've always had a connection with things that, you know, the human eye can't explain. And it's a blessing and it's a curse, but mostly a blessing. It's a privilege because I've been able to form my own world, the dreamer's life, based off of a vision I had at night while I was sleeping. And the dreamer's life was born 2.5 years ago. And
Well,
it's
good for you for following your dream. A lot of people have that happen, and a lot of people dismiss it. And I kind of, think that that's very important that you follow your guides because they're talking to you when your subconscious is available to them, and you're not, how should we say, filtering out the information. So good for you.
thank you, sir. Thank you. So the documentaries that have been made about and created about your home. Would you care to shed some history on the documentaries, sir?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say they're documentaries, but there have been a lot of television shows about the that have been here at the house. In 2006, we had Ghost Hunters. Then I was on My Ghost Story. Then Paranormal Witness. Then on Haunted History. Then on Ghost Adventures. Then on Extreme Paranormal Witness. And then Ghost Adventures Aftershocks, as well as two shows in the UK in 2005 and in 2004. The first one was Dead Famous Live, and the second one was something called Searching for Satan. And I kid you not, and it actually aired. I'm just adjusting the camera. It aired in, get this, June 2006, which is 666.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironically enough.
And it hasn't aired ever since, which is kind of funny when you think about it. I was kind of like, you called the show Searching for Satan and you aired it on June 2006.
Yeah.
Okay. So, they're TV shows. I mean, you got to remember, they have a coefficient or an equation that they have to follow and, a recipe, let us just say. And that's what they do. They, in some cases, one of the shows compressed time so that it felt like I moved in and within 2 weeks, all of the occurrences had taken place. And I said to my friends, I said, I moved in 2002. I didn't meet her until 2005. He I didn't meet till 2005. She I didn't meet until 2004. And going by this show, if you didn't know better, you'd think all these things occurred within the first 2 weeks that I moved into the house. So I can't honestly say that they're truly documentaries, but they're interesting, shows about the activities here at the house. But in any case, they've all been very, very interesting, and that's why I decided to try to put together a docuseries, a 3-part docuseries about the house and the hauntings here, because everybody's had their say, but nobody's gotten it right. And
Well, yeah.
that's why I'm looking to find some production company to help me put this together, because I've got 25 CCTV cameras throughout the house that I've been recording for 7 years. So I've got about 20 hours of footage of different incidents cumulatively that have occurred here. And they are some of the wildest. I mean, I just had a couple that have been recorded within the past 2.5, now 3 weeks, that we've gotten some very interesting voice phenomena that we've captured. And it's not like we were going actively, looking for ghosts. We were just, well, one of the girls was my friends were giving a tour of the house to these people. And I watched their footage just the other night and I said, what the hell is that? I said, I heard a voice. I said,
Yeah.
didn't anybody else capture that voice? And I listened to the voice, I turned up the volume and it said, catch you later. And I'm like, holy crap, who the hell was that? And again, it was the characteristic of the voice phenomena that's captured here is it's three things. It's whispery, very, very light whispery. And it's two, it's clear and audible. It's not like, or like the Peanuts, the adults in the Peanuts series. Oh, then you have to decide what they're saying. It was three, it was right on top of the microphone. And what I'll show you is like this. They always sound like this. They're right on top of the microphone. And it's amazing because the girl was shooting it with her cell phone. And I watched and I said, oh my God, there's a voice there. And it's on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/David Oman. It's one of the first two videos that's up there. And it was wild. And then there's another audio bit that we captured a week later. And it's a bunch of loud bangs at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, 2 weeks ago. And I was in my office. Oh, thank you. So I was sitting there in my office. I got up early and I went into my office. And all my dogs, my 2 dogs and my 3 cats were all asleep. The 2 dogs and 2 cats were in my bedroom on the bed, sound asleep. And my other cat was literally on the chair next to me in my office. And I heard these set of noises. And it was like, bang. It's just a bang, like a soft tap. And then there was another one, bang, bang. And then there were other sounds that I was hearing. And I'm like this, sitting in my chair in my office and going, what the hell is going on now? I said, what, I'm up? Is this a usual occurrence at 6 a.m.? You guys are rattling and like chains and making noises? I'm like, this is strange as hell. And I reviewed the footage. And when I listened to it in my office camera, then in my master bedroom to hear if it was coming from my bedroom, see if the dogs, and you could hear it in my bedroom. And then I listened to the camera directly below that floor. And it was like, there's no source of anything moving. There's nothing, anything I could surmise is the source of it. It's not like the water heater's 100 years old and it's making sounds as the water's, it's none of those things. I looked and I have a brand new water. It's maybe 3 years old. And I'm like going, wasn't that? And I don't have mice and I didn't have the windows open and it was a Sunday morning. So it's not like there's construction going on at 6 a.m. next door and I'm getting overbleed of the acoustics. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Well, energy.
And you were also saying when I went downstairs before we started the show that you had the camera start shaking.
Oh yeah.
And I've got a camera here that could show you. I could go and review the footage and see if the camera was moving, but there wasn't an animal jumping on there making the chair shake.
Yeah.
And what did I say to you right before I went downstairs? I said, spirits. I said, I'm going to be on, so if you want. And then I go downstairs and stuff starts happening and I'm not in the room. I'm thinking, yeah, sounds to reason. They want to let you know they're here.
Well, yeah. I mean, you asked them to. You asked them if they would please, make their presence known. And the very second, see, I learned that spirits, they know you. And they know you, they know me, and And if they want to say hi, they're going to do it because it's pure energy. It's pure. Like I've seen the shadow people, 9 o'clock in the morning, sun shining on the kitchen wall, the shadow people walking by. I used to see them. I used to see them all the time where I live, and you could still feel because of the energy. You can still feel. When they're around because you can feel it. Like my chest gets light. I'll be focused on something and my mind's going and I'm thinking, okay, now how am I gonna do this or whatnot, right? But when that energy is around,
You can feel it.
you can feel it in your chest. I can feel it in my chest. I can feel it in my stomach. I get I get the hair standing up on my arm. And that's how I know. Every morning I wake up and I have my morning meditation, trying to clean myself out, clean out my mind, clean out my heart. Was there just a bang? I thought I just heard a bang off the distance.
That was in the distance, but I'm looking at my dog. I wish I could turn the camera to see. He's just coming down. I was looking over that way for some reason. My attention was drawn to the towards the entryway of the house, and
Yeah.
my dog Reggie, who's really sensitive, was sitting there, just sitting with his ears lifted up and looking straight at the front door, like he was watching something. And he was watching,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "What do you intently see over there?" And I was like, "Well," and then he finally came to, "Hey, Reggie, Reggie."
Animals know.
Yeah, no, he's very sensitive. He's been with me for 8 years, and he's exhibited some very strange behaviors. Only once in a while, but when he's had something happen, it's clearly, distinctly, you can see saying that's not normal behavior. I've never seen
Mhm.
any animal.
Mhm.
When I first got him, I must have been about a year later. Hello, Samantha. He we were outside. I'll never forget. We were on the driveway in front of the house, maybe about 50 feet down the driveway from the front door. And he's sitting there, and all of a sudden, I noticed his immediate, distinct change in his behavior. His
Mhm.
hair, the hairs on the back. It was about 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night. The hair on the back of his coat got straight up. His ears got up. He started growling at something. He then went, got all like fearful, and he ran back into the house. And I just said, "Uh oh!" I said, "Let's get in the house quick, because whatever you see, I don't want to find out what it is." So we ran in the house, and it didn't stop. We came in. We got to, and I can turn the camera and show you. Let me show you. We got to where that, you see where that green chair is? He
Oh,
was
yes,
standing,
sir.
right in front of the green chair, looking this way at the front door, and then looking at that window. You see that window over there,
Sure.
right there. He
Yeah.
started growling at the window, and then he started barking at that window, and looking this way, and then to the front door, this window, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, "Reggie, what's the matter?" Because I could see his fear, and it was amazing. He was just like just panicked and aggressive. It was the strangest behaviors I've ever seen ever with a dog, ever, ever, ever.
Have
So
you? Very interesting indeed. Has your dog not um gone in the basement?
yeah, he refuses to go to the third level. And for the longest time, oh, there he is. Hello, Reggie. Come here. Say hello, Reg. Come here. Come here. Don't be so timid. Here, I'll
Hi,
show you.
Reggie.
Reggie, come here.
Hey,
Reggie, stop.
Reggie.
Reggie, come here. Turn around. No, come here. Turn around. Turn around. Sit, 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 sit. No, not down. Sit, you stupid son of a bitch. Stay, stay. You can see he's well trained. Uh,
Hi,
there he
Reggie.
is. Reggie,
Hi, Reggie. Hi,
Ray,
Reggie.
Ray, say hi to the people out there. Look this way. Ray, Ray, Ray,
Hi,
look.
Reggie. Hi,
There
Reggie.
he is. There's my boy. Here's your
Good
teddy.
boy. Look,
So
he's looking
he's
around.
he's looking a little timid right now. As a matter of fact, let me just whoops this up, up. There you go. Hey, what are you doing? So yeah, he's the one who's been sensitive. So to this very day, he refuses to go down to the third level. He will not. I'm going to adjust this way a little bit. There we go. He refuses to go to the third floor. And it's funny because every time people come over, and for the longest time, Fiona, my Ridgeback, pure Ridgeback, she would never go down there. I finally really dragged her down there by her collar, and all 75 pounds of her finally came down like this, going, no, no. She finally felt the carpet. She goes, oh, this is good on my feet. I like this. It goes, I can get traction on this. Screw these hardwood floors. And she sits there and she goes, oh yeah. She goes, oh yeah. And then she started to pee on the floor. I said, no, 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 don't pee on the floor. Don't pee on the carpet. It's not grass. And so finally I was able to get her to go down there, finally, after about 6 years. Reggie, to this day, after 8 years, every time I have company, I said, watch this. I said, we are on the second floor hallway, and we're walking, the dog's with us. I said, watch, you want to see him? I'm going to take you for a tour of the third floor. I said, come on, Reggie, let's go. Reggie sees us going down the stairs. He goes like this, and as we're taking each step going downstairs, he's coming up the stairs going to the top floor. He refuses to go to the third floor to this very day. And he is such a sensitive dog. Reggie, come here. Ray. There you go. Put your head up. Reggie, look up. Look up.
Energy does that.
That's my boy. Yeah, he's super sensitive. He's a mix. He's a Ridgeback mix. You are, aren't you? But he's super sensitive. The cats, they have no problem going downstairs. I have to keep them from going downstairs. That's the problem. Hello, Samantha. And this is Samantha, my black cat.
Yeah.
Hello, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah. Sam, I don't know. You need the light on you, Sam.
Hi, Sammy.
Sammy. Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
Sam, don't look like a guy from Shadow. Come
Hi,
on,
Samantha.
don't look like a ghost cat. Oh, God. Well, she's active. There she goes. You can see
there
her.
we go. Yeah. Hi, Sam. I'm the dreamer. Hi, Sammy. Hi,
Sam,
Samantha.
Look this way.
Hi, Samantha. There you go.
Never work with animals or kids.
They're independent. They're independent.
And yes.
They're very independent. Annie's the same way. I have a calico.
Oh, I love
Annie. He's the same way.
You good? Oh, really? Did I get your attention now? Now I got her attention. I don't know what the hell I did. What did I do?
A CD cover. There you go.
Now she's active. Say chin button. I got the Now she goes like what? Huh? Lights, camera, action.
So
let's talk about ghosts, not cats.
I have to apologize. I'm an animal lover.
I am too, but it's not like we want to talk about. People want to hear about ghosts, not about cats.
Well, okay. Ghosts on Cielo Drive.
Yes, Ghosts on Cielo Drive. Exactly.
So, okay. Well, so my question is this: you're looking for a production company.
Yeah, I'm looking for somebody that says, you know, something. This is an interesting story. This needs to be told properly. I mean, you've got the 2.5 minute video that I sent you.
I have it.
Yeah, that is, to me, that's the answer to all of it. That's what you should probably play it for the audience so they can get an idea of who I am.
Would you like me to play it?
Where's the other one? The one we've got with the 2.5 with the what is it? The video of the one with the what is it? The picture, the video of me about David lives in a haunted house.
I do have the Saturday night, May 15th queued up. And I was looking for the.
I think it's the third video on my channel.
Oh, here it is, right here. I have it.
Yeah, that's the funny one. That says it all.
Okay, I'm going to cue it up
All right.
and just
Reggie, what's the matter? You're acting awfully squirrely,
share the
dog.
screen real quick.
What the heck, Reggie? What's the matter with you?
What's
You're
on,
acting
Budgie?
He's acting awfully strange. What do
Well,
you know?
something's going on.
Something's always going on in my house. Welcome to my world. It's never
Wonderful.
dull. Always interesting. You don't know what the hell's going to happen next, or who's going to drop by the Oman house. Oh, it's Sylvester Stallone. What do you know?
Let's see. Let's see if
It's the third. There you go. One more. Bingo.
okay, here we go.
Yeah, we know how that sounds. It sounds nuts, right?
You
Especially
got to start from the very beginning.
something that looks anything like what people think of when
Okay.
they think haunted house. When people think haunted house, they mostly think this. David built this really cool place on a hillside in one of the coolest areas of the hills surrounding Los Angeles. It's super modern looking. It's got a great view of Dr. Phil's house, hardware, stainless steel
I
appliances.
think we should start from the beginning.
That's not a haunted house.
Okay,
But here's the thing. You know
Let me
that old
just
saying,
take that back.
location?
there we go.
Bingo.
This is David Oman. And David lives in a haunted house. Yeah, we know how that sounds. It sounds nuts, right? Especially considering he doesn't live in anything that looks anything like what people think of when they think haunted house. When people think haunted house, they mostly think this. But David built this really cool place on a hillside in one of the coolest areas of the hills surrounding Los Angeles.
Mm.
It's super modern looking. It's got a great view of Dr. Phil's house, hardwood floors, stainless steel
That's not my
appliances
kitchen.
that make you think, come on, that's not a haunted house. But here's the thing. You know that old saying, location?
Yep.
Yeah, well, it turns out that the land is 200 feet from where some really famous people were murdered in the most sinister way by some followers who followed a guy who really was nuts.
In a scene described by one investigator as reminiscent of a weird religious rite, 5 persons, including film star Sharon Tate, were found dead at the home of Ms. Tate and her husband, film director Roman Polanski.
Yeah, there you have it. David's house is conveniently located on the famous Cielo Drive next to the property where the notorious Sharon Tate murders took place. And the crazy thing is, that house was being demolished at the same time David was building his. And David's builders were getting pretty spooked by some pretty spooky stuff during construction.
Hey, I hear these noises, these footsteps and voices upstairs. I'm alone, at least I'm supposed to be. So I go up and I look and find nothing. David came out here and it was nothing.
But one thing about David, he doesn't get spooked by spooky stuff. He gets intrigued. And after hearing and seeing some pretty weird things in his new digs, he put up cameras in every corner of the house he could, rolled tape, and captured his paranormal roommates doing their thing.
My hair got pulled.
What?
I'm not joking. My hair got pulled.
Then, after showing the tape to some of the world's most famous paranormal experts, they started showing up, and the house got pretty famous. It's been on TV shows, there was a movie based on it, and people caught on and wanted to take tours and have seances. But then it gets even weirder because the more digging he did, the more creepy the story of the house and the circumstances surrounding it were. So we're going to give the lovers of the paranormal a pretty awesome top-to-bottom spirited look at one of the most active locations on Earth. Because the truth is, David really does live in a haunted house. And it's pretty awesome.
Phenomenal. That does say it all for sure. I love. Yeah,
I do. Thank you. I'm glad you love it.
that was awesome. That was awesome. You know, when narrator was talking about how well how far, or rather how close, that your home while it was being constructed is to the home to the
What?
Polanski Tate home as it was being torn down.
And rebuilt at the same, yeah, at that time. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, my house was being built. They were tearing down and rebuilding the new house there, and it was crazy. Stuff was just nuts.
I'm really, really surprised. And before I say that, I apologize for I say what I was going to say. For anybody watching this on the replay, you're watching Hanging with the Dreamer, featuring Mr. David Oman and his home on Cielo Drive in Los Angeles. Hang out in the chat. Welcome to the show. Please say hi in the chat and introduce yourself. That'd be wonderful. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching Hanging with Dreamer today.
Oh! Did you hear that? The bang?
Yeah.
That was the figurine on the aquarium, the famous figurines. They just knocked it over.
Yes.
They knocked one over, and it's been up there for about 8 hours now, this one.
Yes. Yes, those are the figurines that keep getting knocked over, right?
Yep, and they just knocked it over for you right now. If you guys all heard this, that was that figurine getting knocked over on its own. We were all talking, and literally, there's nothing there. I mean, if you like, well, no, I can't. Can I? No, I'm not. Shit. I mean, I could rewind the video and show you from that camera that's right there, that camera here, what just happened on replay, live. Would you guys like that?
That's awesome. Energy.
Energy,
pure energy.
All right, let me do this. Let me see. I got to. All right, bear with me, everybody out there in TV land, as we used to say.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, it just happened again. Did you see that?
Yeah, sure did.
That's what I'm talking about. God damn it. Son of a bitch. You really?
Yeah.
You can see it. It takes that type of force to make that happen, and nothing happens still.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's cockeyed. For this house, it's normal, though. Let me go to here. Let me see this. Go to cameras. And what time was that at? That was at 2:30. Oh, wow, good. All right, so what I'm going to do for you here is, do you see, can you, since I'm right now blind, does that make sense? I'm literally, this is the cameras. Can you guys see that?
Oh, sure, that should, yes.
That's all the cameras in the house. So what I'm going to do now is go to here, go to figurine camera. Where's figurine cam? Figurine camera. That's the audio. And I want to type in the time. And that was, oh, good. Now you'll see where it is. It's right about here. And we'll cue it up. All right, that's before it got knocked over. All right, that's the first time. All right, here we go. Don't tell me buffering, just go.
And we go. Yeah. Well, my house is being built, they took back to the same down and built the new house there, and it's nice stuff. I'm really surprised. I mean, and people, so that they can, for everybody watching this on replay, we're watching the you turn the speaker phone and it's and see how it goes.
Here you go.
In the chat, welcome to the show. Please say comment in the chat. That is what people being and watching.
Wow.
Oh, did you hear that?
That was it.
Okay. That was the
Absolutely amazing.
they knocked it over. Let's get up there for about
Absolutely amazing.
All right, let me put this back. Oh wait, where's that telephone so I can turn that off? All right, so there's that. Let me turn this back around to me and cat. There. So, as I was saying, that's the beauty of having 25 camera. I mean, a 25 camera set. It's really a 30 camera. Well, it's 25 indoor and 5 outdoor cameras. But I mean, that's like I said, it's been up for hours and hours and hours, and nothing has been in here, affecting that. So, that's just the way the house is, so to speak.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. Well,
and when I mentioned all the footage that I've got here at the house of the activity, that's kind of like the tippy tip of the iceberg. I mean, we've got that footage of John, where my friend John was here in July of last year, and he was unpacking his bags over there in the dining room, which we showed you earlier. And again, he was not seeking out, he wasn't ghost hunting. And he heard a woman's voice saying, "Hi, John." And he says, "David, we're here alone. What do you mean? There's nobody." He goes, "Well, I just heard a girl say, 'Hi, John.'" So, go figure.
Well, energy, that energy will manifest itself when it wants to, when it wants to, whether, but I thought that was very interesting that energy decided to manifest itself and knock over figurines. Right. Just we weren't even talking about figurines.
And the thin one that's been sitting up there, the one that you'd think would be the easiest to knock over, it's still sitting up there, standing fully erect, standing there without being touched or molested.
Amazing.
It's just crazy. And like I said, and for the time we've been talking since I put it up, it's still staying up.
But the real heavy one, that was, real hard to fall over. That one just collapsed right on over. It's amazing. Now, there's a hallway.
Yes, second floor.
You have in your home. The hallway is when you go up the steps. The hallway, you look over to the left, and that's fine. But when you look over to the right, the hallway appears to be tilting.
No. What it is that it gets a little narrower from the middle to the other end, and that's because when we built the house, as my dad said, to make it plumb, he goes, "I'm going to have to cheat in the egress, where it's basically there's a laundry room. You take a step up, and you have it's basically a runway. To the left is the water heater room. To the right is the exit to the staircase on the side of the house." But as far as the level, if it's level, no, it's 100% level. It's just a little bit narrower towards one end than the other. That's, as I said, to make the rooms actually square, because the street and the driveway is such that it incurs upon that. And the way we had to put the retaining wall, it ended up being a little bit more, how should we say, tighter in that spot. So we were able to cheat it there, because it's just the egress to the outside and to the water heater room.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
But what you're talking about is, what I think is, when you step onto that landing,
yes,
sometimes you feel like your body, like your equilibrium's off. A lot of people, and I've experienced that in the beginning, when the first few years that I lived here. I'm not as well, I should say it doesn't happen as often nowadays. But there are people that come here the first time and they walk on that and they go, why does it feel like it's rocking, like I'm rocking back and forth in a boat?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're talking about. It's that type of a feeling. You feel like your equilibrium is being messed with and your inner ear is going, oh my. And there's no explanation for it whatsoever. There's another part of the house, underneath the house, on the third level, that people have also described the same kind of motion sickness, or like they're rocking back and forth on a dinghy, you know, but no reason.
Have you ever walked around your home, sir, and just kind of felt like everything would be fine and you're going about your day, and then all of a sudden you'd be walking through your home, and all of a sudden you start to feel off balance?
Only thing that I can say that's close to what you're describing is on the third level. There have been occasions where I've gone down there with other people, and sometimes I personally believe that it's triggered by those people. And an example is when I was doing the show Haunted History, I remember it was probably about 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago now. 10 years, it's got to be more like 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. And they had to bring a driver up to pick me up because my car had a broken moonroof, and basically on my RAV4, I couldn't drive it there because it was pouring rain. So they had somebody pick me up and take me out there. And the guy that picked me up was an actor. And we were talking, and he told me that, you know, it's kind of funny that his acting coach was Steve Railsback. Now, the name Steve Railsback, for most of the people, are like, who's that? Steve Railsback, 47 years ago, 1974, he was acting, and 75 was the release of the movie, or 76 was the release of the movie, TV movie, Helter Skelter. Steve Railsback played Charlie Manson. Steve Railsback physically was the same height as Charlie Manson, close to like 5'3". I think Manson was 5'3", and this guy was 5'5", but still a short guy. He was a method actor, so he really got into the character of Manson. And when you watch the movie Helter Skelter, he is like, at that time period, again, I'm talking about back in 1974, 75, he was almost a mirror image of the real Charlie Manson. It was that dead on of an act, of a performance. And he said to me, I said, you got to come over and check out the house. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'd love to bring my acting coach with me. I said, when you come back and you drop me off at the house, he said, I'll have you come take a look. He comes in the house, and it was like weird. And we went down, started walking down from the second floor to the third floor. And as we was taking step by step down the stairs, I started feeling energy literally radiating up my legs. And it was thick. And I mean, it was noticeable and palpable and thick. And I'm like, what the fuck? We got down to the landing, and before we went into the room, and it was like your whole body was encased in this energy, and it was not pleasant. It was like, I don't want to say obnoxious, but it was very powerful. And it was present. And it was really like intense. It was intense to the point where it was like you felt like your temples in your head was just like pounding, like waves of energies, like focusing like here in your temple, in your head. And it was like debilitating. Like when we walked through the door and into the theater room, I was like getting a headache and going, oh, this is intense. I said, I can't stand this. Oh my God. And I couldn't figure out what for the life of me was causing this. Went through the entire room, went to the guest bedroom, then we went to the earthen wall room. And I said, I don't know about you. I said, no, my head is ringing. He goes, yeah, it's pretty intense. He goes, I don't know. It's nothing like upstairs. I said, yeah, nothing like upstairs. And I'm like, get me the out of here. I want out of this room. I want out of this discomfort, this unfortunate pain. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't get out of my fucking head. So we came upstairs. I said, I got to go outside. So we went straight outside and was like, all disappeared. Yeah. And I was like, I have never had that experience before. with a person, and I'm thinking, what could possibly be the root cause of this? And I thought, his kept on going on about Steve Railsback, his acting coach. And I thought to myself, maybe this was a key to what was happening and why it was happening. It was related to this kid and the thought of them being exposed to somebody that was an actor, but his performance was so scintillating and so real that it struck a nerve with the energies here in the house. And I was like, wow, I said, and he kept on calling me and asking, trying to get in touch with me and saying, I want to come back with Steve. I never took his calls. I just felt like, I don't want to go through that again. And whatever it was significant. And I thought, if in fact my thinking was right and my assumption was right, and if I did bring him back, how much worse could the energy be if it was accurate and on the money? And what a great insult that would be for me to do to them, and then having to feel that type of energy again. And then have to feel, how long that would stay in the house for, and say, look, you insulted us. Well, we're not going to let you know how pissed off we are. We're going to shit all over you for it. And I'm like, going, I can't do that to them. I really can't. I'm not going to. And so was the story of why I didn't bother.
Memory. This energy, these energies, every single energy I could think of at one time or another, or still does, this energy has a memory. And I kid you not, I have seen this in my own personal life. I have seen, like, I would be in the company of somebody, and I would share, you know what I mean? I would share, like, they'd say, so Dreamer, what are you working on? And I'd say, I'd talk about energy, I'd talk about spirits and stuff. The reaction, somebody was just walking right now.
Here?
Yeah, I just heard like
footsteps.
Yeah, I heard.
Right now we have construction. I can hear it. There's some large construction there. Let me shut the window over there. That way you'll be able to hear the rest of that. Stay, Reggie, because I can hear the construction outside on the street that's going on. I got a window wide open that's creating sound. So let me take care of that.
Hi, Tony. Thank you for being here.
Stay, folks.
Say hi to David when he comes back.
Hi, Tony, by the way. Since I see Tony's on there.
Yeah, that's my good friend Tony. He's been on Guest Appreciation Day a couple times. He's going to be on tomorrow, as a matter of fact, for his third return to Guest Appreciation Day with the Dreamer. Tony's my number one fan. Thank you, Tony. This is David Oman. Say hi to David, Tony.
Hi, Tony. Reggie, what's the matter with you? You're spacing out again. What's the matter with you? Hello, Fiona. My other dog. Fee, lie down. Lie down so you don't start walking around so people don't think there's somebody else walking in the house. It's just you. Fee. Come on, loud feet. Oh, hello, Sam. Yeah. She doesn't want this. She has the lights too bright for her eyes. All right, okay. There you go. Give her some slack. All right, so we were saying.
Yeah,
about the energies and such.
Oh, nice to meet you, dude. He's talking to you.
Nice to meet you too, Tony.
Thank you for being here, Tony. Hey, Tony, I know you're an animal lover. That's Samantha there in the chair, besides Mr. Oman. The energy, yeah. like,
It
maybe
comes in waves. It's not, people say, well, isn't it always on? It's like, well, it's like different rooms in the house, different levels, and literally different rooms of the house have different, they're unique. The house is very unique. It's like a layered cake that's then cut it down the middle, and different compartments in the cake, which are the rooms, are differently charged. I can't explain it. There's just a natural occurrence. Sometimes you go to the third level and it's really hot, and then when I say hot, I mean elevated EMF levels. Sometimes you go to the laundry room and it's normal, it's fine. And other times you go in there, it's like, wow, what the hell's going on here? And literally that one step from the laundry room area to that egress, to the runway, as we call it, I guess, it's sometimes this hot charge, and sometimes you walk to one end and it's fine. You walk to the other end, it's like, oh my God, there's just a tremendous amount of intense pressure around your sinuses, and you feel like you've gone up 3 altitudes. And there's no explanation for it. Or as we said, you kind of feel like you're rocking back and forth in a boat. Hi, Christopher. It's just, it's hard to explain. It's not like 12 o'clock when there's a full moon, it's like, ghosts don't wear watches. They don't give a rat's ass about the gosh darn tidal affections of the cycles of the moon. I mean, I'm sorry to say this to you. After 19 years of living here, don't you think I've put these myths to the test to say, well, it's a full, it's a blood moon, it's a lunar eclipse, it's a solar eclipse?
you have.
No, it doesn't change anything.
Hi, Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. So it really doesn't. And people say, well, does it matter if it's 3 a.m? What are you goddamn kidding? Like ghosts have a freaking alarm clock in their freaking pocket saying, time to hunt. Okay, let's get, yeah. And if it's 3 o'clock here, or it's 2 o'clock here, it's 3 o'clock in another part of the country, so it's still 3 o'clock somewhere in the world. This is where people in the mythology of the paranormal go ape shit, and I go, really? You really think that? You don't think there's a possibility that you're making this up because it makes you feel better? I've got stuff that's happened at 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening, 3 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, 10 in the morning. I mean, they don't care. It goes like, oh crap, I can't do anything. It's goddamn 2 in the afternoon. I gotta wait till, was it 13 hours? Oh, that's lovely. 13 hours, how convenient.
They don't do that.
Come on.
They don't do that.
And by the way, if ghosts are real, and you got to remember this, if ghosts are real, and this is again, you have to put yourself into this into this box and say ghosts are real. Okay, if ghosts are real, they can do anything they want to. No, the girl put a halt to it after what? What did Christopher just say? The girl put a halt to it. What? I missed what he said. Shit. They can go anywhere.
At any time.
At any time, you can put down a salt lick barrier around you and be encircled by it. Goes to look at that and go, I don't have high blood pressure. I love salt, and watch that salt just disappear in front of your eyes. Mm-hmm. I mean, and by the way, you can speak in tongues, in Latin, in Aramaic. Ghosts don't give a rat's ass. It's not what you speak, it's what you feel. And if you're afraid of ghosts and they know it, there'd be like a dog that knows that you're afraid of dogs, and they'll start barking at you and making you feel uncomfortable because you are susceptible to playing victim. If you're going to say, I'm a victim, $2.25 each. For what? What's $2.25 each? What are we selling there? Jeez, I saw that one. It just doesn't work like that. Ghosts don't really care. Oh. And it's just, I hate to demythologize things, but if ghosts want to talk to you, as we found here, they don't need a Frank's box or a spirit box or an Oculus to do it. I see the red dot FCT. What is it? So that's what I'm telling you. The spirits want to talk to you. A secondary device that's a scanner, a reverse scanner, a programmable scanner is going to give you a radio transmission, and even if it's a ghost, it's not going to be in their acoustic, their actual vocalization. Take a regular, digital recorder or old-fashioned, a tape recorder with a little cassette, and go out there and try it that way. That's the best to do, because And don't sit there and spend an hour doing these questions and answers. Make sure you take it there and you videotape it and you say, let's check our messages now and play it back live right in front of you and you watch what you find. I keep on missing the comments. Son of a gun.
No, and you're absolutely right. What's going on in the chat is Tony and Christopher both are either scoring tickets or have scored tickets for a very exciting concert, Guns N' Roses and Wolfgang Van Halen tickets. Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang.
For $2.25 a ticket. I hope they're goddamn good seats, like in the pit.
I saw
It better not be in the goddamn nosebleed section for that kind of money.
576 Christopher is
in the pit. 576. What city are we talking about, guys?
Yeah, what city is that? I'd like to know.
Jesus Christ. That sounds like LA prices.
I'm not surprised.
And then again, we're coming out of a gosh darn pandemic, so people are like, I want to see a live concert. I got to see a concert. And everybody's going ape shit. So the prices are probably, and of course, you're not getting it from the gosh darn venue. You're buying from a ticket scalper at that point. Because, the face value of the tickets are probably maybe 80 to $100. And it's like, of course, Raleigh?
North Carolina.
576 in Raleigh? Holy shit.
Yeah, Detroit.
Son of a bitch. And in Detroit, too?
Yeah.
Well, people are really desperate to get out there and, get to the venue. So, God, that's, boy. Well, there goes your gosh darn stimulus checks.
I'm waiting. I'm
sorry to say that. That's just
no, that's right. That's all right. I you can say whatever you want on my show. It's fine with me.
No. I'm just saying it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
50 prices, but I guess that's what's to be expected. Everybody wants to go out and after a year of being cooped up. I just hope we don't blow up. That's my greatest concern. And I'm not taking politically. I could give a rat's ass politically. Life and death is not a political issue. It's life and death. Life or death. If people want to say otherwise, go right ahead. Go find out. Get sick. I had my goddamn godfather drop dead of it in 3 days of COVID.
Well,
he didn't have any pre-existing conditions except being alive. You don't know if you have pre-existing conditions. It's not the damn.
He wouldn't miss.
No, I know that, Tony. I know that, but I'm saying to you, the prices are more expensive now because everybody's clamoring to get out to see a show because we've all been stuck. So it's basically economics. It's supply and demand. There's a huge demand and a limited supply to get those tickets. Now I'm sure if they haven't pre-booked other venues in advance, they might roll it over for another night because they have so much demand in Raleigh. But that's what it's going to be at every goddamn venue. People want to see the shows.
Christopher is caller number 3 on the Neanderthal show.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry, Chris. I remember that as one of my younger days. It was like, call in for your tickets. Right now, it's like one beep, beep, beep. I never was able to get through to even be given a caller number. It's like you couldn't get through on the freaking phone lines. You kidding me? Call now on KHJ, Los Angeles. Be caller number 14.
Yeah.
How do you get a call? I got to find in the goddamn queue to begin with to get a number. In any event.
No, it's true. KLOS was my station.
KLOS,
KMET, KNAC, KMAT,
KNAC, KNAC, KMET. I remember the Mighty Met. Yes, I grew up when the Mighty Met was around. And also KHJ on AM. Guns N' Roses have been charging the prices
since 2016. Wow,
that's just ridiculous. Those aren't. Hold it. Wait, Tony. Tony, those aren't the prices on the tickets themselves, are they?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's got to be from the gosh darn. That can't be the venue prices. No way.
No way.
Speed Down Madness. Yeah, exactly.
I went over 20.
No way. Wow, you are kind of lucky. Yeah, for Christ's sakes, you are. Jeez.
Good job, Christopher. I've never won one.
Lucky bastard. You are a lucky. You are the rabbit's foot, baby. You are a rabbit's foot incarnation, man. 20 pairs. God. Well, then again, was that in Detroit? Jesus, they have big radio stations out there too.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's still amazing. You know, LA's got a lot more, people listening, but still Detroit's right up there.
So what do you, if I may ask, sir?
Of course you may. I'm on your show. Crap, might as well.
Well, I just don't say anything wrong.
Well, ask me. I can always say F you if I don't really want to answer it.
Yeah.
So go ask. As Christopher Royce, that doesn't mean I have to answer the fucking question, do I? Ask, please. Go right ahead.
I keep looking at those blinds behind you.
Yes.
My eyes keep going there. I don't know why. My eyes keep going there. Yeah, it's
behind the curtain from which I am waving in front of.
Yes, those blinds right there.
Yes.
My eyes keep going to them. I don't know. Maybe I'm having
maybe I should do this then.
a dream feedback. Oh, there you go. Now the other side.
There you go. No more blinds.
No more blinds. So
I'm not going to block Sharon either. There you are, Sharon.
So if you're able to find a production company,
yes,
that would be as interested in this stuff as I am.
Yes. How's that look, by the way? I've got my hand on Sharon, resting on Sharon's head.
What are your hopes? Like, what's your vision for the Ghosts on Cielo Drive?
Well, to get this show on television would be something I'd like to do. Obviously, I think that it's interesting. It deals with the history of the area with the Native Americans, and of course, it deals with the Sharon Tate murders. And of course, the construction, from the purchase of the property, and the whole story through with the different incidents that have taken place here, plus some reenactments that would be shot here, the interviews to be shot here with the people that have actually had the experiences, and obviously showing a lot of the footage that we've accrued here over the past 19 years, and discussing it, and also bringing in some experts like Dr. Barry Taff to talk about the paranormal activity here, as well as some of the other people that have been here, because I think that that's much more interesting than any of the shows that have been out there, especially the shows where the camera's on me and I'm watching the ghosts that are behind the camera, and all you're seeing is my reaction. And then a quick switch around to the camera, or a quick one of these, like, oh my God, did you see that? And it's like, oh, wow, too bad you missed it. Oh, that's really too bad. You really should have seen that. It was amazing. It was something that flashed before my very eyes, and I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that for the audience. I'm tired of that. That stuff is just played out. It's been done before. It's been done with different groups of people, with individuals, with people. I'm surprised they did it naked paranormal investigation shows. I mean, that's enough. This is literally a docuseries based and inspired by my experiences, all documented in the book Ghosts of CieloDr. That's this.
Absolutely.
Behind you.
Absolutely.
And I'll show you guys some of the photographs. Go down. That was shot here at the house. This example here.
Oh, yeah.
Is 35 millimeter film. What you're seeing is 3 chairs in my dining room. This is going from my dining room into the living room. And what you can see, let me see, right here is that's the fireplace. What you're looking at is this energy that's here. It shouldn't be there. It's 35 millimeter film. That mass is translucent in some parts because you can see the leaves up here, and you can see through it, but it's also different shades. Then we have this picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you can see the same room, the chairs. I'm trying to avoid the light at the bottom, but you see these two streaks of light.
Yes.
They shouldn't be there. I mean, I can go close up on it. They shouldn't be there. Then this, which was shot on the 35th anniversary of the murders, August 9th, 2004, you see the energy that's right here. This. It is not a camera burn. You can actually see it's transparent. And it's not smoke and it's not a fog, and it's very clearly defined. Again, with a 35 millimeter piece of crap camera, a real piece of crap. This one was also on that same night, and I don't know if you can see it, but if you can look if you can see, let me see if we can get that. In the window, we call this the pregnant orb.
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing if I can get to the point where you can see.
Yeah, it's in the background, isn't it?
It's right that's over the window. Outside the window, there's an orb inside of another orb. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, there's a small section of glass.
Right there.
Yeah.
And these two women are talking. That's me going down the stairs, and there's an orb inside of another orb. Again, that's in the middle of the window outside. This was shot in my bedroom, and if you notice this, that shouldn't be there. This is 35 millimeter film, and that burn shouldn't be there. Right over my headboard. And this was shot again on the 35th anniversary of the murders. Again, you can see this pattern of energy that's there.
Yeah.
That is not the camera strap. You can actually see through it. You can actually see the railing, the wrought iron railing of the gate in front of the Tate House.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Here's another photograph that was shot. And again, 35 millimeter film, and you can see that mass right here. That shouldn't be there. And that's the entrance of the house, and then right here is the door to go into the bathroom on the top floor.
Well, Fruitcake Tony was asking you a question.
Yes, what, Tony, please?
Do you live in the Tate
No.
House?
The Tate House, first of all, was torn down between 1994 and 2000. When was it finished? 2007? 8? I think it was finished in around 2008. So it was torn down. It was remodeled. They kept two bearing walls on the original floor from the original Tate kitchen. They tried, Harvey Weintraub, the person who destroyed the house and was rebuilding that house on that property, tried to sell it to my father for $20 million, I think. And my father said, not on your life. It's at the time, it was just too much to do. And it was so far gone for what they had put there. The amount of construction that they put there was just absolutely horrendous. I remember he took us through a walkthrough of the house, and he showed us the property, and I was like, you guys, why do I feel like I'm in jolly old England? I said, you got a gosh darn fireplace, and I kid you not, and I'm going to show you what I mean by the size of the fireplace. Here, let me see. Do you see this pass through here? That's 10 feet, maybe is that 8 feet? 8 feet or 10 feet across. Mm-hmm. There were literally, if you believe it or not, they had fireplaces in the place that were that wide. There was a fireplace. There were fireplaces in there, and I think that's not even as big as the fireplace. Oh no, that's not. That's about 8 feet. They were 10 feet openings, and the opening was across 10 foot, and it was about 6 foot high, and it went in the. I remember it was in the living room, and it must have been going about 8 feet. And I looked up and I said, holy crap. I said, that's the chimney. And there were two of them, pipes that were literally 4 feet in diameter that went up. And I said, oh my God. And they go up about 35 feet to the upside above the roof. And I'm going, oh my God. I said, I've never seen a fireplace that Santa Claus, if he was real, could actually navigate down with a couple of bundles of goodies. It was impossible. I couldn't, and there were two of them, like smokestacks. I'm going, oh my God. And I watched, I said, you could fucking put 150, 200-pound deer, buck here, on a spit and barbecue it like you're in jolly old England. I said, what gives with all the gosh darn huge fireplaces? And it wasn't on the lowest floor. It was throughout the entire house. In the kitchen, they had this big wood-burning pizza oven. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, I can't believe it. And it was just ostentatious and crazy. And my dad said, he goes, to fix what he's done here would take a lot of money, more money than I could possibly imagine. He goes, and I don't know if it makes sense. And he also showed us, that's when he showed us the trap door that led to this crawl space, as he called it. There was a 3-foot by 3-foot door near the back floor on the floor that was like an opening that he pulled up. And I looked at it and said, because that's the linoleum from the original tape floor from the kitchen. I'm like, what? He goes, oh, we kept it as crawl space. So I lowered myself down to it and I felt it was just amazing. The energy I was picking up off of that crawl space was crazy. I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. So.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. Do you feel like that you're picking up maybe other residual energies around into your home that are kind of like energies that are compounded on top of Sharon's energy, on top of everybody else's energy, and just a mass cloud of energy of like more than one or two or three people. Yep. Is that the figurines?
Different one.
Oh, look at that.
This one went. The other one. The first time was that one. This time was this one.
Oh, they didn't want me to ask that question.
No, because I was going to answer and I was just waiting to answer. I said, no, wait until you finish. And then they knocked it over to make a point.
No.
I'll tell you the honest to God's truth.
I take that back. I take that question back.
Just like these are individual figurines. Yeah. They're not stacked on top of each other is what they want to say. And that's why they didn't knock over the same figurine to make a point.
Yes.
And you saw me pounding the thing before that happened. What they're trying to say is think of this like bottles of soft drink or cans of soft drink. We're all individuals. We're not stacked like in a bunch of cases on top, and we have a layer.
We're all individuals.
We're individuals. We're just like human beings because in essence, they were human beings. They're not human beings. They shed their skin, so to speak. So now there's not like a layer and layer. There's a lot of spirits that are in here besides Sharon, Jay, and Abigail and Stephen that visit here. But they're not the only spirits that visit this house. And I was going to say, do you want me to rack this up and to show you that figurine getting knocked over just now again?
That was amazing.
Should we do that for review before, for this right now, or do you not want me to do that?
Sure, go ahead if you would like.
All right, because I thought that was pretty interesting for the audience to see.
That was amazing.
I was pretty impressed. Like I said, the fact they knocked two figurines over 3 times, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty startling good. So let's do this.
They wanted to show up today.
Oh, they very much wanted to, make a commentary about your question, obviously.
They wanted to be here. They wanted to manifest themselves for the Dreamer's Life, for Hanging with the Dreamer. They're trying to show people. Everybody's going to watch this on the replay throughout the years to come, hopefully. They want to show people that we are real and we matter.
Stop that buffer.
And I'm impressed. They have impressed me.
I'll tell you, to be honest with you guys, too. I don't think all that.
I'm playing this in reverse now.
Check this out, Tony. Look at that.
Just a mass cloud of energy about more than one or two people.
Look at that.
That's the thing. Different one. Look at that. This one went. The
Amazing.
other one. The first one was that one. This time was this one.
Oops. Sorry about that.
No, because I was going to answer it.
No worries.
I just want to make sure it's right in the frame.
Just a mass cloud of energy about more than one or two.
Amazing. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oops. There we go.
That, you know, to be able to watch that and to be able to witness that and to know that they wanted to be here.
Oh, yeah.
They want to be here. They want to be here. Yeah. You know, and I felt like that was just for me. I felt like that was
responding to you is what it was. They were clearly responding to you and your commentary. It's like, well, how do we let them know with enough of an impact? And it was a different,
beautiful,
loud, different figurine, and clearly in connection to what you were saying and your thoughts of what and they go, well, here's a great way to let you know it's not the same figurine. We're going to pop over the other figurine
that's amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah, this is not rigged. For the audience to understand, this is not rigged. This is really real.
This is really happening.
This isn't like I'm pressing buttons. If we're not Disneyland, you know, let's be honest. If we're not on a set. I mean, the house has been in some TV shows and a movie, but it's not. We're not on set. This is not like I'm pressing buttons and making.
Not at all. Not at all.
There's nothing here but me in the house and the dogs and the cats, and that's that.
This is just Will and David and the animals.
Yeah.
That's it.
And here's the thing is, and here's the one for your audience. If Zach Beckinson's was here, he would have soiled his underpants, okay? He would have crapped in his pants like nobody. Professional. Really? What was that, Zach? The figurines got knocked over. You're having a meltdown today?
It's
he
amazing.
did. I saw it in the gosh darn TV show. He's in the pitch black and it happened. Could you imagine what would have happened to him if it was daylight and he's got knocked over? His pseudo environment of frailty of being in the dark scares him to death. But if it happened with the lights on in the middle of the day, he'd have a shit in his pants.
It's amazing. I feel like that they singled me out, and I'm very fortunate, and I can't thank them enough. You know, this singled me out and just let me know, hey, you know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that because that's not going to happen for everybody.
I can tell you what doesn't happen for everybody. I've had people who go, well, where are the spirits? What are they not going to fear? So going, ask me the stupidest questions for. Oh, I know.
They're gonna show up when they want to show up.
Yeah, and I don't sit there and people go, people said, you're exploiting the spirits, don't you think? And I said, do you comment? Somebody posted this on my YouTube channel. I said, let me ask you something. Do you comment to every gosh darn location and venue, like the Queen Mary, like Lizzie Borden's house, like Bloody Mary, like all the different places over the throughout the entire country or world? Do you do that? I said, because this is a house where I live. I actually live here. I don't charge tickets to come in here. I said, once in a while we open it up to do, or we did open it up to do events here, but not since COVID, not since 6 months before COVID began. So I find it kind of hard that, oh, you wrote a book. It's like, yeah, I wrote a book. I wrote a book. Sue me. I wrote a book about my house and my experiences. That's how I'm profiting of Sharon Tate. The house has got more than spirits of Sharon Tate. And I'm not the only one that has expressed this view. We've had people like Lisa Williams, Marianne Winkowski, Christopher Fleming, James Von Prague, to name a few of the paranormal people that have visited the house, that have had their experiences here. So I really don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get a little bit perturbed and offended and a little bit blown out of the water going, why is this? Because Sharon Tate's such a cause celeb, and because she died such a tragic death, everybody says, oh, you shouldn't have said, then what about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Oh, that's gold. And I said, it's not a movie about Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
She's 13 minutes of the entire motion picture, both talking and non-talking roles, is Sharon Tate. Of 190 or 190 minute long motion picture, and I go, or 180 minute, I go, what are you guys talking about that I'm exploiting Sharon Tate? I think it's much more, well, I fine, I won't. I was told by some spirit up above not to go there. It's like, all right, fine. Like I said, but it's okay for people to do movies like The Haunting of Sharon Tate, Charlie's Girls, The Manson Story, Charlie's, all these movies about the murders and stuff, which are just graphic, exploited pieces of work. And yet I get for writing a book about my story, because I've been on all these paranormal TV shows, and I don't exactly agree with a lot of the stuff or how it was portrayed on these shows. So I felt I have to put in my own words a book that basically says the story from my perspective, without any of the hyperbolic bull stories about the demons, about any of this. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. That's not what I wanted the book to be about. So I put the book about my own experiences here and kept it very dry and very interesting and very clear, so that people would, understand the truth about living in a paranormal home firsthand. And by the way, you can only get the book at, GhostsOfCieloDr. Here, I'll put this up there for the audience.
And I was going to ask you, where can everybody go to buy your merchandise, buy your book? And
I don't have, no. I have no merchandise. There is no merchandise. It's just GhostsOfCieloDrive.com. GhostsOfCielo, Drive.com. My camera sucks, but that's what I've got. That's all I have is the book, and that's it. If you want to buy a copy, I'll be happy to sign it and inscribe it. It's $20. It took me 15 years to write it. There's some pictures in there. There's lots of pictures in there, as a matter of fact. There's also a scientific report from Dr. Barry Taff that goes back 16 years now, to 2005. And I'll actually show the audience what I'm speaking of. This here is the scientific report of Dr. Taff.
Yes.
It's all there. You can read it when you get the book. He's got his other information about the experiences of others here. There's also the full write-up from Todd Ferris from 2005. I'm sorry, I can't get any closer. The gosh darn camera keeps on auto-focusing in and out, and I can't stop that. But it's all there, and there's also the stories about the different celebrities that have been here, like Lindsay Lohan, Sylvester Stallone, Robin Dan Gronkowski, the 9 Chilean coal miners, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to name drop anymore, but that's the sum total of the people that have been here so far.
Well, I would imagine that very many people have. And I would imagine that one thing I did want to ask you
Yes.
about Ghost Adventures. Really?
Sure, go ask. Doesn't mean I have to answer, but go ask.
Was that the only thing I'm going to ask? Was that exciting? Was that thrilling for you?
How to answer that question? No. It was exciting. They were here for 4 days. The first day they were here, they came, and I say they, that's the production team. Zach didn't show up until the very last day when they shot the investigation. And that's probably why I have to say that for the first 3 days, it was very, very interesting and fun. Because as a producer, I enjoy watching other people do their shows at my house, and I'm always intrigued at how they're, how they're going to produce and how they're going to shoot it. And it was interesting, but the first day they were doing, let me see. First day was interviews with me, just getting a feel for the house. Second day was interviews with other people. Third day was reenactments, like the scene which the girl's coming up the street, bloodied up. Dre Fordham's story, which was like, they asked me, I said, that story is just wrong. I said, I don't know of it. I've never heard of it until this very second about this. I said, and secondly, I said, I don't believe that an apparition would show up in the bottom of the street, dressed in white, in a white nightgown, pregnant, covered in blood, clutching a pregnancy. I said, it reeks of drama and complete hysteria, but it doesn't ring true. I said, when I saw Jay Sebring's apparition, he did not look all bloodied up. He wasn't even wearing the outfit he died in. I said, so no, I don't believe her story. I said, I think it's disrespectful, rude. I think it's over dramatic. I think it's exploitive. I think it's very unsettling. And I think it's really too much and over the top. They went with it anyways. When they were doing the shooting of that, I took pictures from a distance, and I saw a picture. One of the pictures, there's an object of like brilliant white light coming out of her stomach. There were no lights behind her. Certainly no lights behind her that are going to shine through her silhouette, her body. Her solid body was coming right out of her stomach. It's just pouring out. And she was just wearing a white nightgown, so there's nothing reflecting off of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy shit. And I just got shivers down my spine, and I kept on hearing the spirits say, this is the ultimate disrespect to Sharon's memory.
Yes.
And how dare they? And they said, when they come back, they're going to be shit all over. There's going to be hell to pay for their actions, and they're going to get crapped on. And I was like, ooh, wow, that's tough. And so the next night when they finally did the lockdown, I think it was like 5 o'clock, Zach shows that, it's 5 or 6 o'clock, Zach showed up. It was a Thursday night. It was September, it was 2013. And I said, hey, Zach, nice to meet you. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I said, great. I said, look, I know you guys are busy tonight. I said, I know you guys, I talked to the producers. He said, you guys are going to be in LA for the weekend. And since tonight's your last shoot and you're not doing anything, I said, tomorrow, I said, maybe you guys like to come over to hang out and I'll barbecue and throw down some ribs. And I said, I had a barbecue ribs and chicken restaurant, so I know how to throw them down really good and cook a wicked meal. And we could all sit and shoot the shit, just the 4 of us. And he says, I can't. I got a chick flying in from out of town. And I just like you saw the beat that I just took there, I'm letting this register in my head thinking, I'd had Lisa Williams 7 years ago in 2006, after Ghost Hunters aired, call me up and get in touch with me out of the blue, found my unlisted number and got in touch with me and came over to the house because she wanted to see the house for herself. Not with her show, not with her crew, just by herself, to just check it out because she was sincerely interested. This was the 180-degree opposite interest level. About me, about the story, about the house. He couldn't care less. He was so disconnected, more interested in this chick that was, as he said, that's flying in from out of town, than he was about checking out the house on this downtime as a paranormal investigator. Most likely a real person would want to do it and check it out, because in the shooting, it's like, come on, get in here, trained monkey. I want you to hit this spot. We're going to have the camera. We're going to shoot you coming in. Then we're going to shoot you going down. See, that's what people don't understand about these shows. It is highly organized to the minute of what they are going to do. It's scripted in the sense that we're going to get you in there at 9 o'clock. You're going to get out of there by 3 o'clock. And in between, we're going to have different things we have to accomplish because here's our shot list that we have to have shots of so that we can cut to and put this in. Because that's how they do this stuff. It's not done as you think. It's just, yes, they have to go through the house, but they have to do it in an organized fashion, and they have it pretty much slated out of what they're going to do and how they're going to go. And yes, there's a little bit of freelance where it's like, okay, we're going to ad lib because I want you. No, we have to do this. This just happened. Let's go this. All right, but we still have to have these things done because this is what we are going to cut to and how we're going to cut and make this final product of the show. We need these shots in there. So they start. I'm already like the spirit's like, well, there you go. You were right why you didn't let him in here sooner. Because he's a shim sham. He's a flim flam. He's an actor. He's more interested in having some chick when he lives in Las Vegas fly into LA when he's in LA doing a show instead of having to fly to Vegas because he lives in Las Vegas. But it's easier to get people in and out of Vegas because it's a hub and it's a center for people to go gambling. So I was like, all right, this guy's just whatever. So I didn't even bother inviting Aaron and Nick over. I just didn't even bother. I was so turned off by his attitude and who he was. I said, all right, fine. I know who he is. So 9 o'clock rolls around and they're supposed to start the lockdown. And they start to grab all the equipment and the guy flips on the switch. He goes, everything just goes, yeah. He goes, everything just failed. He goes, wait a minute. He goes, oh, the 3 camera guys, he goes, all of our camera batteries are dead. What? So they go into the truck where they have the backup batteries. They pull the batteries off of the chargers and slap them in. Dead. He goes, we've never had this happen before. And I said, and now it begins. That's exactly what I said. So I said, so now it begins. I said, what did I tell you when you asked me about this reenactment the other day? On Wednesday, because there was correction on Tuesday, because on Tuesday they floated the idea of the reenactment. Wednesday night they were going to shoot, and I said, don't do it. I said, it's a bad thing. And I said, you're asking for a problem beyond your own wildest dreams. I said, I'm telling you now. And sure enough, they went and they had to recharge all the batteries and everything was reconditioned and stuff and restart all the equipment. An hour later, they started the lockdown at 10 o'clock. And I remember when I walked into the house, and what you see on TV where I sit down, I go to the top of the stairs over there and I ask the spirits, that's not the original. Meaning I went in the house right after they said they're ready to, I said, can I just do something? I said, I think I have to do something. So I walked to the top of the stairs and I said, spirits, I said, I know you're really pissed off. I said, I know you're, and I said, effing furious. I said, I can tell. I said, you made it clear last night when you were shooting that goddamn reenactment, you were furious. And I said, I don't blame you. But I said, I don't want anyone hurt. I said, I do not want effing soul harmed in this. I said, as upset as you are, I said, I know you're enraged. I said, I don't want you to harm anyone. I said, not now, please don't. As I walked back towards the front door, the producer goes, what the hell was that? I said, and I looked and I said, what was what? I said, you mean what I just said to the spirits? I said, I'm for the first time in my life living here in 11 years, I said, I'm scared that something bad is going to happen to somebody in this house. I said, and I felt like I had to basically ask them with a sternness and a forcefulness to say, back off and don't you dare molest them and hurt them. He goes, no, that was incredible. I said, it wasn't a freaking show, you stupid idiot. I said, I was serious. I said, I am scared for you guys. I said, I have never felt this before in my life. And he goes, well, I want you to do it again, but I want you to do the PG version. And I looked at him and I just was like, PG version. I said, fine. So, I mean, because look, it doesn't behoove me to ask somebody to come here as a producer and to be a prick to them when they're doing their show. It's their show. They've already got they've rented the house out for their time. So I said, okay, fine. So I went to the top of the stairs and I did the PG version of it. But let's be clear, it wasn't any joke. And what the worst part is in the book that by Zach Bagans, I'm Haunted, he goes off on a tangent and says that I treat the spirits like a parent who's scolding their children. And I thought to myself, oh, son of a bitch, somebody's really a prick. I was doing it for your benefit. Had I known you were going to sit there and crap on me this many years later about it, I would never have done a goddamn thing and said, crap on all of them. Tear them to bits. Make mincemeat out of them, please. For what concern should I have over a couple of poser paranormal investigators and one who's the pompous ass leader who thinks that he's shit don't stink and he's just going to run over my head? I don't need that. I should have said, go to town on him, please. I don't have any worries with me. So, excuse me. That, in a nutshell, was what happened. So they went and they had problems throughout the entire night. What you don't see in the show is before they sent Nick downstairs to do his reconnaissance experience, which is a lot longer in reality than what you see on television because they edited it down. He was down there about 5 minutes having his meltdown. But before that experience took place that you see on the show, Zach came about a half an hour earlier, walked upstairs, walked out to the front of the house, took 3 steps and fell down to the ground like a puddle of pus. Just like a puddle of crap. There's no cameras. There was no cameras there. I went up to him and said, Zach, you okay? And he's like, I don't feel good. Because my head is spinning. It's just spinning, man. It's like, I'm just feeling so, I can't deal. And he was literally physically messed up. Then the producer came with, Zach, you okay? You okay? He goes, I give me some water. I'm just feeling my head is just, he was just whacked. And they went, then took Nick, sent him downstairs. And Nick started having his issues down there. And Nick is literally, when you see it, the guest bedroom is there, the bed is in the guest bedroom, and it's probably about 6 feet to the door. And then into the theater room, and then maybe 15 feet to the door to go upstairs. He couldn't navigate that short distance and was having a meltdown down there. And I'm watching this, and it was the shots that you see in the show where there's Aaron, Nick, and Jay Wasley. I mean, Aaron, Zach, and Jay Wasley in the back of the van was right in front of the door and parked in front of the house in the driveway. And I'm watching them while you guys were watching that, the bit of video footage of them like talking to Nick down there. I'm watching literally from outside the door of the van, the minivan. And I'm like, and I said to them, I said, guys, I said, he's having a meltdown. Mm-hmm. And they were cracking up. They were thinking it was they were just thinking it was so funny that Nick's having this experience. And they're egging him on, saying, come on, go in the other room. Come on. He goes, guys, and you can hear him interacting with them. Well, that little clip that you see on the show, on that episode, is, like I said, that dragged out for about 5 minutes. And I sat there, I said, I'm getting pissed off, guys. I said, you can't do this. Yeah. I said, you can't be letting him hang there by himself. Whether or not it's practical and really happening or it's all in his mind doesn't make a damn bit of difference, because to him, it's really happening and he's having the problem with this. And I sat there, I said, I'm really getting pissed off. I said, I am getting really pissed. I said, God damn it, because I'm hearing him screaming and yelling. I said, if you don't go down there and save his ass, I said, I will tear up the freaking contract and I will run in the house and go down there. I said, because there's no way I'm going to allow this to happen on my watch in my house. I said, not a freaking chance.
And you warned him.
And I told him, and Nick Zach's already had his problem in the house. So he already knows it's legit. And then Zach looks at me and goes, okay, guys, come on, we'll get out of here, blah, blah, blah. We'll go get him. Let's go on and get him. And it took another 30 seconds. And I said, shitheads. Just shitheads. Just absolute shitheads. You don't do that to somebody. I don't care. It's just unfair. And it was cruel. And that's what I felt. I was just, so, then at 1 o'clock, I looked at my watch and I hear the footsteps. I mean, I hear the footsteps, like 3 sets of footsteps marching up across the wood floor. And I'm out in front of the house. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look at my watch, it's 1 o'clock. And I'm like, well. So they open the door and they come marching out. He goes, we're done. I said, what? He goes, oh yeah, we got plenty of evidence. I said, it's 1 o'clock. You have another 3 hours left on your watch. And he goes, nope, we're out of here. We're done. We're finished. And by 1:10, they were all packed out and gone. And I was here in the house, cleaning the house myself. And I think I videotaped, after they left, my experience, personal experience here at the house with them. And I was like, I'm cleaning up the house right now. So when I watched the show, it's like, the time code is this. I'm thinking, that's not accurate. That's 100% bullshit. I said, 4 in the morning. I said, 4 in the morning, I was in the house cleaning this mess of a house up. There was no one here but me. So that's my experience with Ghost Adventures.
Well, that's a prime example of what I was trying to share with you earlier about when somebody asks me, hey, Dreamer, what are you working on? And I tell them what I'm working on, or I'll tell them about a dream I had the other night or something. I'll tell them this is what I think it might mean, but I need to think about it a little while longer. Sometimes the reaction is, oh, that's cool. That's it. Do it. Make a show around that or try to create something around that. But then there's also other times when people, and names aren't important, people ridicule me. And they tell me, you're never going to get this right. You're never going to get this right. What do you mean you're going to work on that? What do you mean? You're not, going on and on. And my answer always is, watch what happens.
Yeah.
I always say that.
No guts, no glory. You don't try, you can't fail.
A week later, 2 weeks later, a month later.
Construction outside the house.
A month later, I'll talk to that same person again and I'll say, so what's new? What's going on? And then they'll tell me, oh, this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. And I'll go, really? Really? And I think to myself, I tried to tell you, watch what you say. Watch how you react when you're talking to me or anybody else that's wearing their heart on their sleeve. Because the things that we try to say is sincere, it's open, it's honest, and our hearts are on our sleeves. Take care of that. Respect that. If you don't respect it, so that's what I remember when I was sharing with you. And then something happened. Oh, noise in the background. I stopped talking. And then you had that experience. I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you.
Just double checking all the windows are closed. Still have that.
Well, for noises that are coming outside of windows that are closed, that's pretty loud.
Construction.
So
Yes.
one of the other thing too I wanted to cover, we're almost done. We're almost out of time. One of the things I did want to cover is you have a section in your home, David, That is it. You called it the earthen room.
Earthen wall room, yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's part of the house that's literally underneath, since the house is built on a slope of a hill. Let me grab a photograph since I have one here. You can get a better idea of what we're talking about that way. All right. See, this is the lot when we bought it. When we first bought it, oops, get you this way. This is the actual lot. This is the hillside, as you can see, and the earthen wall room, if I'm not mistaken, is, let me see. First, this is the same. This is where the earthen wall room is right now. So this mass of earth here, right? As a matter of fact, right there. This is the actual earthen. This is it right here, what you're looking at. This little piece of land. And what it is just the house. And by the way, there's a long shot or a wider shot. Let me see. This way, this way, this way. You can see here's the lot. This is where the Tate house stood and what they put there. But what it is, since it's built on a slope, on a hillside, the floors basically, as the slope goes down, the floors get narrower. Well, on the third floor, right there, there's a room that goes in where we were going to put the air conditioning unit. Well, we didn't put it in there. When during the construction period, my father wanted to turn it into a kitchen. And he says, well, we'll use this kitchen to be servicing this floor. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, this will be a separate apartment from the house. I said, no, we're not doing that, Pops. We're not going to do that at all. We can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. And I said, I'm not going to spend all this money to build a 2-story house to have a 3rd-story apartment built in. So he goes, then fine, then we're going to leave it unfinished. And it was basically he was trying to force me into not doing what he wanted me to do, which was turn it into an apartment. And he says, we're going to leave it unfinished. And therefore, you're going to have this unfinished space and it's going to look hideous. I said, leave it. So finally, after, what was it, about 7 years ago, after 12 years living here, I finally got the money together and I built my own kitchenette in there. But for the longest time, it was just used as a service, as just an area for storage. And literally you walk in and there's the storage area there and there's a wall, and you walk in another step up and literally 3 feet in front of you is this mound of earth. And because of that, we never finished it, and it doesn't have a wall there that hides the exposed earth, which most of the other rooms have that are against that hillside portion of the house. And that's the only reason why it's like that. And I've left it like that ever since. And I said, forget it. I'm not going to spend the money to do this. I said, I've gotten so accustomed to it after 19 years of living in there and having the exposed mound of earth there. It's become kind of a trademark of the house. But lots of activity has occurred in there as well.
I was going to ask you about that.
Countless issues. We had when it was a storage room, there was a television set, and there is still an 18-inch piece of butcher block. It's 2 inches, about 1 3/4 inches wide, and it's about 1 foot wide, and it was sitting on this television set. And when somebody was in there doing an investigation, the butcher block on the video shows itself spinning off the television set and onto the ground. Also, we've had a bottle of wine come out of the wine rack on its own, again, on video on my channel. Countless voices have been recorded there, speaking, disembodied voices, I like to call them, because they're not electronic voice phenomena. It's just voices being recorded on the CCTV cameras that of people that are not there.
Well, the reason why I asked about that room was because I remember the very first time I saw it, I could just feel, I knew that there was just something that was drawing my eyes to the walls, and something, and I'm like, my mind's going, and I'm thinking, okay, something is here with me. but what is it? And and that's when the cognitive mindset starts going, is this just for me? Did I not sleep too good last night? Or, you know what I mean? I learned to stop questioning that stuff because whenever, I'm just talking about myself. I, 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 I remember seeing that room. And for some reason, that room just attracted me. And then you started talking about native.
Yeah, that was Lisa Williams that was there. What was it, in 2006? Who said that she felt there was a Native American on horseback whose remains are interred in the Mount of Earth, which they kept wraps until finally I mentioned it to Zach Baggins in 2013 on the show.
It's a powerful room.
And he went off on a tangent and made such a lying, smelly embellishment of it and said that the house is built on Native American ceremonial burial grounds. It's not. It's the Native Americans, the Tongva tribe that lives in all of Los Angeles County, did not even bury their dead in Benedict Canyon ever. And he went on to say that as well to other people. I'm going, there's no proof of that. That's an absolute lie. I've done the research. I couldn't find anything except for one bit of information that took place in 1842, a mile away from here, in what was then the Walnut Orchard, where the Native Americans were killed in a battle, that it was a running battle from Alpine and Sunset Boulevard right now, Alpine Drive and Sunset Boulevard, present day, where there was a ranch house there, and the ranch hands basically went after the Native Americans that were absconding with the goats and the chickens, and the running battle ended there at this juncture at Benedict Canyon and Chevy Chase Drive, where they buried them in 3 Native Americans on the spot, only to be uncovered 80 some odd years later in 1925, when the ground was first broken for the Beverly Hills First Women's Club. And they made note about it. It was in the newspapers and stuff. But other than that, nothing. So, it goes back to the reason why I wrote the book. I mean, I heard too many things that were inaccuracies and outright lies that were being promoted in the public by this person. And I said, I got to put the truth out there for all to see. That's why what I said was Lisa Williams said that she felt the presence of in the Mount of Earth that's in that earthen wall room, the exposed earth. And I'm like, okay. And I kept it under wraps. I didn't tell anybody. But subsequent psychics that had come into that room, James Von Prague, Chris Fleming, Marian Winkowski, and a bunch of other, Jackie Barrett from America's Psychic Challenge, said to me the same thing, that they all felt this presence of a Native American in that earth. And I'm going, what? So again, they don't all hang out together and talk amongst themselves about my house. So it wasn't like one was telling the other was telling the other. They all are separate individuals that don't even intermingle. So the fact that these stories were coming down and other people were coming up with it, I preferred to keep it under my hat, so that when anybody came in there, it was like, let's see what happens with this person. Mm-hmm. And not telling them made it even better, because then if they picked up on it, it was like, another one, there's another one, there's another one. How many does that make? That makes like 40 people that have been in here that don't talk. I didn't make it public. It wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't on MySpace or Facebook. And I was like, well, son of a gun, this is nuts. Just nuts.
Nobody told me.
Exactly. They all got it independent of the others, which was fascinating. Fascinating. Just blew my mind. So I opened my mouth to Zach Baggins, and the whole thing came, I should have kept my trap shut. I would have had a lot less gaff and BS about my house and questions about, your house is built on Native American ceremonial burial grounds? That's a big no-no. I'm going, no, who know? What are you talking about? So,
Gotta be careful what you say.
Gotta be careful who you say it to. Discernment. That's the difference. It's not what you say, it's to whom you say it to.
Yes, sir.
You have to be able to understand who the audience is that you're speaking to, and realizing how trustworthy are they, and how much you can put faith in their abilities, or they're going to BS and start making lies up. Never again. Live and learn.
Yeah, it's all about being honest, and it's all about who are you? Who am I? More importantly, who are the spirits? Who are the ghosts on Cielo Drive? And I wasn't gonna ask this because there was something that kind of came to me, but I made peace with it. So I will have to ask. Um, kind sir, do you have a memory in your home dedicated to Miss Sharon Tate?
A lot of people have inquired about that, and I'd have to say I am not a fan, so to speak. I'm not a fanatical fan. I appreciate her. I also appreciate what she did. I am very honest about her, and as honest as I think she would be about herself. I mean, I've got 3 pieces of art that were given to me by a friend of mine who's an artist, Joey Maas, Maas, phenomenal artist, as a matter of fact. And I think I can show you one of the pieces right here. There you go. You see that? That's one of his pieces. That's actually 4 feet by 3 feet.
Look at
That's one of his pieces. It's a gorgeous piece of Sharon. I don't think I can rightfully. No, you can't see that. No. Unfortunately, I can't show you the other pictures. They're in the other room, and they're a little bit more obscured from view from this angle. So, but my point is, I appreciate Sharon. I think, I'll be honest with you. I think that the reason why we know Sharon and talk about her, and she'd be the first to say you're damn right, is the fact that her terrible demise.
Yeah.
How she left. I mean, there's lots of other actresses from that era that were gorgeous, but let's be honest, we're talking 50 years ago.
Mm.
And that's why we talk about Sharon. We have such reverence towards her.
Absolutely.
And, I appreciate her. I adore her. But I don't put her on her pedestal, and I don't think that she would want to be put on a pedestal as such. I think that she was a good person. I think that, she was probably, had she lived and none of this had taken place, she probably would have divorced Roman and gone off in her life and, remarried somebody else and had a pleasant life, and might have even walked away from acting because she was really interested in being a mom. She was more focused on being a mom than anything else. She wasn't concerned about anything but being first and foremost a mom to that son that she was going to have and give birth to. So, I treat her with respect and kindness, and I don't, some people say you exploit Sharon. It's like, no, I'm not exploiting Sharon. I'm keeping her memory quite alive in a very honest and true fashion. I'm not, I'd say I'm not trying to exploit anything of her, and I don't want anything from her. I mean, the fact that she visits here and people have experienced her presence here is great, but I don't, I don't know how to say it. I think that, it's a tragedy upon how she left this earth, and as well as the other 5 people, her son included in that, that died. So, as well as La Biancas and everybody else at the hands of Charles Manson.
Well, folks, you have been listening to your little old dreamer here and hanging with Dreamer, just hanging out with my very gracious and very kind host, Mr. David Oman. Thank you, sir, for giving me your time today.
My pleasure, by all means. And like I said, if you ever want to come out here and see the house and want to do a live remote here, I'd be more than happy to do that with you, please.
Oh, it would be an honor, sir.
It'd be fun.
I would be humbled. I'm humbled now. I appreciate your courtesy and sharing all the beautiful, beautiful things that in the memories, and a very big thank you to the ghosts there on Cielo Drive that just wanted to
Spirits.
want spirits that just want to say hi. Say hi to Dreamers, say hi to the show, say hi to everybody who's going to watch this. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me your time also.
One shot back to the figurines because they're all standing there quite nice and untouched.
I'm watching the one on the left though.
Look at that. Guys, he's saying goodbye. Do you guys want to knock over now? This is your chance to say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. I love you. Thank you.
Thanks, Spirits. Again, thank you for having me on. Anytime, I'll be happy. It was a great show. And again, you are, as you said, that doesn't happen all the time. And the fact that it did it 3 times, well, 2 times we know seriously there was something strange about it. Very strange. So you should consider yourself very, very lucky that they manifested and said, hey, we're here. Boom. We're going to respond a second time 20 minutes later. Guess what? Boom. It was in response to your commentary. Oh, the timing was beautiful. Again, thank you very much for having me on. And don't forget, get a copy of the book, Ghosts of Cielo Drive.
The link's down in the description box below.
Perfect, guys. You guys, again, thank you very much for being a part of this show today. I can't say thank you enough for having me on. It was my pleasure to be on your show as well.
And thank you, sir. And very quickly, where can the Dreamers go buy your shirt?
Oh, this shirt's actually made by the Ghosty Girls. I think you can see Uncle David there.
Oh, okay.
This is the GhostyGirls.com. These are 2 girls. They're 8 and they're 10 years old, and they are paranormal investigators. They've adopted me as their uncle, and I've adopted them as my nieces. They're hysterical. They are the greatest. And like I said, go check them out. Go look up Ghosty Girls with a Z, GIRLZ, and GhostyGirls.com. They are the funniest and the greatest kids, Vivian and Gracie. Trust me, they're worth checking out.
Vivian and Gracie.
Vivian and Gracie. Vivi Joe and Gracie.
Outstanding. If you'll just have a few more minutes, I'll be right with you.
Sure.
Enjoy my outro. And thank you again for being here. See you tomorrow. Fan
Bye.
Appreciation Day. Fruitcake Tony. Thanks, guys.